What's going on, you guys? Welcome back to the MC show. It is your boy, MC, of course. We are back. We are back. We are going to talk about more NBA teams. We're very close to Thanksgiving. Well, I wonder what you guys think. What's the threshold of when you could start making conclusions about certain teams? Is it 20 games? I feel like 20 games, that's when you could start making conclusions in pencil, of course, because we still got 60 games after that. You know what I'm saying? But we're here. We're gonna talk about a four more teams, then some quick hitters at the end, of course. Before we get started, please don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Any and all help it would be greatly appreciated. Share this video with as many people as you possibly can. To the podcast listeners, please download, review, leave a review, leave a rating from wherever you get your podcast from. We're going to jump straight into it. The first team, the Detroit Pistons, also known as the number one team in the Eastern Conference. Whoa! Recording this on a Monday, by the way. But the Detroit Pistons right now are a top 5 defensive team in the league. About 15th in offense, so about average. But defense was their calling card last year. They were 10th in defense a season ago. They're even better now. Cade and Jalen Duren are the absolute leaders of the leap that the Detroit Pistons have made this season. They have turned into one of the best duos in a league, bar none. Like, you have your duo or triplets if you have a team with 3 stars like the Lakers do or Oklahoma City does, but Jimmy, Steph, good one. You have if they were healthy, you have Jaylen Brown, Jason Tatum, Cat, Brunson, Mobley, Mitchell, I guess Garland too, and Allen. But Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren have put themselves in that conversation for sure. Jalen Duren has just been a double machine. Both sides of the ball, he has been absolutely fantastic. He is protecting the rim better than he ever has in his entire life. On top of that, he's showing way more on offense than he ever has. Guys, I don't think I've ever seen Jalen Duren shoot a jump shot until this season. And I'm watching him do a couple tweens, pull-up jump shot, like from like 17 feet. Jalen Duren, who you feeling like? Who are you feeling like? Like, the confidence when you watch him play, he looks like he gets it. You can tell he definitely has worked on his game. The passing has always been there. When Cade and Duren are running a pick and roll and he's on a short roll, he can stop 2 feet in the paint, and you get Ausar Thompson, one of the best cutters in the league, get him open shots all the time. Like, he's a fantastic passer out of that specific play. But the offense has just come together. He's finishing. You could give it to him now to score. You see how he's built. You guys see how Jalen Duren is built. The guy is strong and athletic. You don't see that kind of combination where he's that big, that physical, and also could catch lobs. Like, he's been absolutely unbelievable. Like, if they stay at like one of the top 2 teams in the Eastern Conference, I don't see why this guy can't be an all-star this year. Like, that's the kind of leap he has made this year. We saw Cade make the leap last year. If the Detroit Pistons were going to make another leap, he needed some of the other young guys to follow. And Jalen Duren has followed. Jaden Ivey, question mark on him. Can he follow suit as well? Not as an all-star, but can he be the secondary scorer on this team? He hasn't played this season. He's in after off-season procedure. When he'll be back, we don't know. But that's the team is already 15th in offense. If they get any sort of offensive punch from Ivy, he was showing some stuff last year before he had that really bad ankle injury. This team is gonna be really really good for a while, for a while. Cade Cunningham, you can't even say enough about him. Top 15 in scoring, top 3 in assists. He's second in the league in assists, averaging 9, over 9 assists specifically. Like he made All NBA last year. He made the Superstar Leap last year. He's continued that Superstar Leap. He had a 46-point game the other day. Yes, he did on 45 shots, but we're not even going to talk about that, okay? Let's not talk about that. Let's just ignore it, okay? Let's just ignore it. The guy's an absolute double-double. We're talking about Jalen Duren as a double-double machine. Guy giving you 18, like 13 a night. Cade Cunningham is giving you 30 and 15 assists a night. Guy has been, well, 15, and not obviously not 15 assists. He's not Jokic, but the guy has a lot of big assist numbers because he's a great passer. He's a great playmaker. He's continued his ascension to being a superstar. Part of being a superstar is being able to maintain that consistency. He's been able to do that this season. Another person who should be an all-star for this team come January, February when they announce it. Jalen Duren, Isaiah Stewart, probably the best shot blocking duo in the league right now. Isaiah Stewart is literally the best shot blocker in the league right now. No doubt about it. Jalen Duren is right there next to him. And they play those two together a lot. Stewart has missed a few games, but they're like you would think offensively, because I know Stewart has dipped into being a three-point shooter, but I don't really think that's his game. I'm not sure that's ever going to be his game. But defensively, absolutely absurd the way those two guys are just protecting the rim. Being able to protect the rim, even in a league where there's so much spacing and three-point shooting, the best way to be able to get good open threes is consistent driving and kicking, being able to get into the paint. But you're not going to want to get into the paint all the time and try to finish, put pressure on the rim if you have two of the best shot blockers on the same team on the floor at the same exact time. Like, those two guys are leading this defense. Like, if they keep this up like this, at the end of the year, when guys are making their all defensive teams, both those guys are going to be candidates for one of the two all defensive teams. You take out Harris and you put in Stewart in the starting lineup. 122 offensive rating, 106 defensive rating. Like, they have been excellent, absolutely excellent together. I imagine they're going to keep rolling out that lineup. I said, Stewart and Duren is not the type of offensive lineup, but 122 offensive rating tells you otherwise. It tells you otherwise. You're getting really good production from your role players as well. Duncan Robinson, we miss him in Miami, but he has been so good as a spacer for the Detroit Pistons. He has been excellent, shooting 39% from three. Every lineup with Duncan Robinson in it is a positive. He's just been so excellent for them. What a huge pickup for them in that sign and trade with Miami. Ron Holland has been good off the bench. Javonte Green, who's been like spot starting a little bit, he's been really, really good. Just athletic, drives to the basket, defensive activity. Asar Thompson obviously helps with that defense. He's literally the same as Amin Thompson. He's literally the same. The team has put together a defensive identity, and the offense has slowly come along with it. With Jaden Ivey, how good can they be on offense? Could he be a guy that, okay, Cade Cunningham and Jalen Duren on the pick and roll here, but then Cade could swing it to Jaden Ivey and he could do some second side actions. How can he's really fast, so he can attack a closeout. The 3-point shooting is going to be a real big key. He shot over 40% from three last year before his injury. How real is that shot is going to be a really, really big question. But the decision making also, he averaged like 4 turnovers last year. But with Cade Cunningham, he's going to have the ball in his hands a lot more. So you would expect those to go down. But there's a world where this team could be even better if Jaden Ivey gives them the boost that I think he, with his skill set, he can really help the team. So overall, Detroit Pistons, man, what a fantastic start to the season. They've put together a damn good roster. Karis LeVert and Duncan Robinson were huge signings. The leaps from the young guys have been fantastic. JB Bickerstaff once again doing a fantastic job. Gotta shout out the Detroit Pistons, man. Let's see if they can keep this up. On the other side, we have the team that was formerly the #1 seed last year. We have the Cleveland Cavaliers. As of right now, the Cleveland Cavaliers are 11th in offense, 9th in defense. That actually went up because they were not 9th in defense a few days ago. Donovan Mitchell, fantastic. He's been averaging 30 points, shooting 50% from the field, 38 from 3, 83 from the line. Good shooting splits. Mobley has been good to start. I wouldn't say he's been like great, fantastic, but I think he's been good. He's been solid. He's shooting 38% from 3. DeAndre Hunter has been starting. Max Strus hasn't played yet. Broke his foot in the offseason. He's not ready to play yet. 19 points, not necessarily the greatest shooting percentage. He's shooting less than 30% from 3, 41% from the 3-point line, from the field overall. He's been more aggressive. Like, you can tell the Cavs have been pushing him a little bit to be more aggressive offensively, and he's definitely answered the call. You see sometimes he runs a pick and roll just to get a shot. He's not necessarily passing the ball. He's not a playmaker. He's more of a play finisher, and he's been finishing plays, just not necessarily at the most efficient rate. Now the Cleveland Cavaliers, they're not as good as last year. They've definitely taken a step back, even though they've had a similar team. Obviously, you trade Lonzo for Isaac Okoro. You don't have Ty Jerome anymore. You couldn't re-sign him. But for the most part, they're the exact same team. But you have to acknowledge that they don't, I should say, have Darius Garland. Garland had the offseason surgery on his toe. Came back, injured his toe again versus Miami last week. I don't know how long he's going to be out, but it's going to be a while again. It's definitely, like, Darius Garland, definitely, his presence is definitely missed on the court. He runs the most pick and rolls on the team. I think they're missing that element of their offense. You watch, like Jarrett Allen hasn't looked as good this year as he did last year, and that's because who's he running pick and roll with? It's Darius Garland, it's Jarrett Allen. Those two guys have a good connection. Darius Garland isn't there. Jarrett Allen isn't producing as much as he has last year or the last few years. And obviously, Jarrett Allen isn't the kind of guy where you could just give him the ball. He's not the offensive creator that like Evan Mobley is, for example. Like, Evan Mobley turned himself into a guy where you could give him the ball and he can create on his own. Like, Jarrett Allen is like that. Jarrett Allen is someone who needs that kind of partnership. And without that element of their offense, you see that they go from the second best offensive team in NBA history in terms of rating to now this, where they're 11th in offense, which isn't bad, but they don't look as potent because they're missing that element from their offense. Their depth, I don't think that has been bad. Sam Merrill has been excellent. 14 points per game, shooting damn near 50% from 3. I've liked Jalen Tyson in his second year. His shooting has gotten better. I think the defense has gotten better. He's been playmaking just a little bit more. Like, you're not asking him to play make too much, but like he's just making the simple plays, the swing passes that you need. If you're a Cleveland Cavaliers fan, you got to be excited about those two guys. They definitely need Darius Garland back in order to spice up their offense a little bit. Mobley and Mitchell have been good. Like I said, Mitchell's averaging 30. Mobley's been good, 38% from three. When they're off the court, though, when Mobley's off the court, the team offensive rating drops to 107. When Mitchell's off the court, the team's offensive rating drops to 102. I get it. It happens. When Bam's off the court for Miami, the defense sucks. When Jokic is off the court, the offense sucks. When Curry's off the court, the offense sucks. But because Darius Garland is not there, there's no like second outlet, you know? Like Sam Merrill, Jalen Tyson, all the other guys that I named, they're not the creators that Darius Garland is. And Lonzo Ball, I think he's been good as well. I think he's gotten better as the season going on. I don't think he's made like the big impact yet, but I think the last like week or so, you see he's making more shots. He's defending pretty good. Like, he's not Darius Garland, so they definitely need that punch from him. So I wouldn't say I'm worried about them, but I'm definitely noticing a little bit of a drop off from them on both sides of the floor. Their offense, even like Evan Mobley isn't having the defensive impact I feel like that he had last year. Allen and Mobley together, not the same defensive impact that I felt last year. I'm gonna give it time though, because Max Strus isn't here, Darius Garland isn't here. I feel like you gotta give this team a little bit more time in order to really judge them, especially since it's still early on in the season. They haven't been bad, so I don't want to make it seem like I don't like them, or I still don't think they can make like the conference finals or whatnot. But I'm just noticing that early on in the season, last year they went 15-0 to start the season. This year they're not 15-0. They're not number one in the Eastern Conference. So you noticed a few different things that they're missing from this team that they had last team. But hey, when Strus comes back, Garland comes back, the role players keep playing as good as they have been, I think this team can definitely be better. But we're going to have to wait and see. Now, the Los Angeles Clippers. To be honest, I'll spoil it now. My last team is the Dallas Mavericks, and I haven't talked about the Nico Harrison trade. I probably should have started with that. But I want to start off, on a more positive note. That's why I started with the Detroit Pistons. But we'll leave that for last. They are bottom 10 in offense, and they are bottom 10 in defense. What is happening with this team? Oh my God. The Los Angeles Clippers, they are slow as hell, bruh. The offense takes a long time to get into. They don't get the ball past half court in a quick amount of time. The defense is slow, bro. Their transition defense is booty. Bro, if you're a fast team, bro, you could just run on them and it's not gonna matter. This is terrible. Transition defense is awful. Bradley Beal is out for the season. He wasn't good before, but still, like, Kawhi Leonard has an ankle sprain. He hasn't come back. They don't say it's serious, but they need like someone besides James Harden to keep carrying them. James Harden still got it. Kawhi Leonard still got it. James Harden had a 40-point triple-double against the Boston Celtics the other day. They played today against the Philadelphia 76ers. Paul George is coming back, by the way. That's cool. We'll check in on the Philadelphia 76ers. See how Paul George fits into that team with how they're playing. But Zubac he's been so-so. I think he's been better past week and a half to 2 weeks, somewhere in that range. But I thought he started off slow to the season. It's so strange that like the team who they had a clear identity last year without Kawhi, and then they added Kawhi, and they skyrocketed to the 5th seed in the Western Conference last year. Like, they were a top 5 defense last year. And they started Bradley Beal. Whether you liked it or not, I was skeptical only because it would hurt the defense. But not to like this. Not to the point where they're like 25th in defense. This is horrible. Like, I said I asked you guys, should we make conclusions? If your answer is yes, are you panicking about the Los Angeles Clippers? Because they're so bad on offense. They're so bad on defense. James Harden can't do everything. They're not shooting the ball. They're not getting good production from CP3. Bogdanovich just the past 2-3 games just started cooking. Before that, he was giving you nothing. Batum isn't giving you nothing, but Batum is old, so I'm not expecting him to give you 12 points per game. But their depth, you look at this team and you're like, wow, they have good depth. But the depth isn't depthing. A lot of the bench players aren't giving you nothing. Derrick Jones Jr. just got hurt, so they were already a bad defensive team now. Oh well, they're gonna be an even worse defensive team when they got a guard. Kevin Durant. Who's gonna guard Kevin Durant if Kawhi Leonard is still out? John Collins? Okay, sure. I don't know, man. They need to get back to last year's DNA. That's my biggest thing. You were able to stay afloat while Kawhi came back from his knee injury because of the defense and because of Zubac and James Harden being great together. You started Bradley Beal. He's out for the season. They don't want to start. I don't think they want to start Chris Dunn and Derrick Jones Jr. because of the shooting. You saw in the playoffs last year versus the Denver Nuggets, that was a problem, starting both those two guys together, because neither of them are shooters. But Derrick Jones Jr. has been really, really good to start this season. And now that he's out, I guess that doesn't matter. But still, you have to start Chris Dunn, man. Chris Dunn got you so many steals. He was one of the best perimeter defenders in the league last year. Like, whatever, that magic that they had last year, all of it is gone this year. And I know they're an older team, but like, this is horrible. The Los Angeles Clippers, they need to get it together, because the Western Conference is not forgiving. The Spurs are here. Oklahoma City Thunder are like 55-1, and they don't even have J-Dub yet. And Lou Dort has missed some games, and Chet Holmgren has missed some games, and Shai Gilgeous-Alexander isn't even playing in fourth quarters. He said over the offseason he drops 30, they win, then he goes home. And he's literally doing that. Dropping 33 points a game, and he's not even playing fourth quarters. The Warriors are on a 3-game winning streak. The Lakers about to get LeBron back. He practiced today. Like, where are the Los Angeles Clippers in that? Look, this team, could they go on a run? Absolutely. But my God, do they need to fix it, and fix it quickly. You don't want to get in too deep of a hole. Like, Portland is good. Like I said, Phoenix is good. The Spurs are good. None of those teams made the playoffs last year. None of those teams made the play-in tournament last year. You don't want to get left behind by those guys before it's too late, because none of those teams are slowing down. Portland's defense is good, and they play fast. Jordan Ott has done a fantastic job coaching that team in Phoenix. Without Jalen Green, who's only played 2 games, he just re-injured his hamstring. He's out 4 to 6 weeks. The Spurs, Victor Wembanyama. He's out. He's gonna be out for a couple weeks with a calf strain. But they've built up enough rapport that like they might be able to win some games without him and still stay afloat in the Western Conference, while the Clippers are gonna be scratching and clawing, maybe having to play playoff basketball for the next half of the season because they put themselves into such a hole. They need to try to get back to their defensive identity last year, and that's my biggest thing with them. Get back to what you were last year. You have a similar team, and you added some guys that can help with that, John Collins and whatnot. Get back to that, and then maybe these guys cannot be as horrible as they have been. Last but not least, we have the Dallas Mavericks. Now, I didn't have a chance to give my opinion on the firing of Nico Harrison. We're going to start there before we dive into the team. He deserved to get fired. There is no ifs, ands, or buts about it. I heard Charles Barkley and Shaquille O'Neal talking about he was a scapegoat. No, he was not a scapegoat. Nico Harrison went to management, went to ownership, and was like, "Hey, I want to trade Luka Doncic. Give me the okay so I can pull the trigger on the trade." Nobody forced him to do it. It was all his idea, and he did it in secret. It's not just that he traded Luka Doncic, traded the franchise's best player, traded a guy who was literally going to be the next Dirk Nowitzki. He secretly went about doing it. He didn't open a trade up for people, for the rest of the league. He went directly to the Lakers and was like, "Hey, here, you guys can have Luka. Give me Anthony Davis." That's not a scapegoat. That's a guy who is single-handedly responsible for doing it. Now, obviously, there's another side of the story when it comes to ownership and Patrick Dumont okaying the trade. Yes, that was also bad. But it was his idea alone. He executed that idea and turned the Mavericks franchise into one of the most hated franchises in the league right now. There he was getting fired Nico chants every single home game. That game against Milwaukee, the last game before he gets fired, PJ Washington is at the free throw line. And you're hearing fire Nico chants. When they have a chance to tie the game up. Don't nobody want to hear, the players don't want to hear that. Patrick Dumont, who was in the building for the first time since opening night, he doesn't want to hear that. Cooper Flag, his first year in the league, he doesn't want to hear the Mavericks franchise not being able to cheer for him. They literally said, there was a report that said that the Dallas Mavericks players prefer to play on the road than at home. That's the kind of toxic environment that Nico Harrison built because of the trade. The fans hate him. They lost sponsorship. Season ticket holders are not refunded their tickets. Like, he cost them millions of dollars in sponsorships. Fans left the team, didn't want to support them anymore, and created this toxic environment where players didn't even want to play at home anymore. He absolutely deserves to get traded. Obviously, Patrick Dumont being at the game, at that Milwaukee game, you could clearly see that he had to understand the level, the magnitude of the fans' hatred. He had to understand it, so he had to be at the game. And hearing fire Nico chants, understanding that is such a toxic environment, something had to be done. And he did it. He fired Nico Harrison, and it was deserved. Now, the franchise has nothing left to do but to build around Cooper Flag. Anthony Davis is still hurt. Kyrie Irving is still hurt. Looks like he might come back this season, but if you're playing as bad as they are, and we'll get into the crux of it right now, the team is a top 5 defense. You got to give them that. But they are one of the worst offensive teams in the league. They've been fluctuating around 29th, 30th in offense. They've just been horrible offensively. Cooper Flag is he looks good. He's not greatly efficient, but no, I feel like most rookies aren't greatly efficient yet. But Cooper Flag looks pretty good. He's looking more confident. He's taking it to the basket. Has a nice jump shot. He's extremely athletic. Defends the rim the help side defense, all of that. Like, he's engaged on both sides of the floor, and I think he's looked really, really good. But it's just so hard for the rest of the team to score because they don't have a point guard. Now Brandon Williams has started. Klay Thompson is now coming off the bench. We'll get to Klay Thompson in a little bit, but they were starting like P.J. Washington and Anthony Davis and Derek Lively and Klay Thompson. It's like there's no point guard. Like, they're like, we're gonna play Cooper Flag at point guard. Well, Jason Kidd, what you're doing is you are actively making it really hard for Cooper Flag to be able to score and get buckets if he doesn't have a point guard there to set him up for him. That's the biggest thing. Like, D'Angelo Russell, not good. Not good, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not, and like, we knew. If you watch basketball, you knew D'Angelo Russell wasn't going to be the answer. But watching it, watching him dribble the ball for like 15 seconds of the shot clock, and then he makes a decision, like watching him go 1 for 10 for like 2 weeks in a row, and then the random one game where he has like 30 points, like, he's not helping the team. You gotta give some credit for Brandon Williams, because Brandon Williams has been good. Having a guard in the lineup just is better. But man, this team just isn't built without Kyrie Irving to score. And even if they have Kyrie Irving, is Kyrie Irving gonna single-handedly turn this team into like 15th in offense? I don't think so. They're bottom 5 in true shooting percentage. They're bottom 5 in field goal percentage. They're bottom 5 in three-point percentage. They're bottom 5 in three-point attempts. The Mavericks are bottom 5 in free throw percentage. Like, they can't shoot nowhere. They don't have any spots on the floor where they're good. Klay Thompson is coming off the bench now. The guy is shooting nowhere near 40% from 3, which is what he shot a lot in his career. It's sad to see. Like, Lively's been out. He's back. AD's been out. We'll see when he gets back. Exum has been out. You don't have much from the other guards. Russell, Jaden Hardy. I mean, you got like Najee Marshall has been good. Max Christie is one of the best three-point shooters in the corners. He's averaging 13 points. He's shooting over 40% from 3. He's been excellent. He's probably been their best shooter for the entire season. Marshall is fine from 3 as well. But it's just so hard for them to score. It's an ugly, ugly watch. And at the very least now, the fans do cheer for the team with Nico Harrison gone. But it's a really, really tough watch, man. They have no offense at all. None at all. There's no consistent shooting. The centers, even the centers like Derek Lively. Like, I said this about Jarrett Allen earlier. Like, Jarrett Allen needs someone to set him up because he's not someone who can get his own shots. Same thing for Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively. There's no one to throw them lobs. You know why Derek Lively looked so good when Luka was there? Because Luka is a fantastic passer. One of the best ever. Kyrie Irving, to a lesser extent, can throw you a lob, can get Daniel Gafford and Derek Lively easy baskets. There's no one like that to do that. I understand why some people might be like, oh, they fired Nico Harrison because he didn't even get to see the team yet. They were never going to be great at all. They were going to be better than this if they were fully healthy with Anthony Davis and Kyrie Irving. There's no doubt about it, but the roster was flawed anyways. The window that he thought about was the next 3 or 4 years is ruined. It's been ruined because of the injuries. The Mavericks are in a really, really tough place. They're one of the saddest franchises in the association right now, and it's mostly thanks to Nico Harrison, who is now out and deserved to be fired. I don't want to hear no argument against it. Now, before we go, we got some quick hitters. Bulls. They do play the Nuggets tonight. 5-game losing streak. No Josh Giddey. Josh Giddey looks like he's coming back for the against the Nuggets. So is Kobe White, who's making his season debut. Just real interesting how they started off so good, but then they slid so far back because of how good Josh Giddey has been. This team looks like they run on Josh Giddey. So hashtag noticing. They were top 5 defense to start the season. That has slipped dramatically. But let's see if, with Josh back, Kobe White back, these guys can get back into the fold. Toronto Raptors. Maybe we should talk about them next video because they're 6th in offense, 13th in defense. The offense, I'm genuinely surprised at how good they are. Seeing the starting lineup where you have R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, and Brandon Ingram, 3 guys who need the ball in their hands, 3 guys who aren't necessarily good or great shooters. They're okay to decent, but they play super fast. They share the ball really well, and Brandon Ingram has looked great. R.J. Barrett has sneakily looked great. Scotty Barnes he's looked good as well. He's been more efficient. I think he's shooting 50% from the field, shooting 40% from 3. Like, he's looked very good. And off the bench, you got Mamu. Mamu's been good, yo. Off the bench, he's been good. Like, they somehow, some way, like, the coach is someone who I could tell was going to be a good coach and has absolutely been fantastic. Early candidate for Coach of the Year. Gotta shout out Toronto Raptors for how they started the season, over 500. And the Rockets. Lastly, maybe we should talk about this team too next. Number 1 offense in the association. It's so crazy because, like, I watch them and I'm like, this team doesn't look like a team that should be the number 1 offense. When I watch them in the half court, they don't have any consistent shooting. They're playing Şengün and Adams together, and it doesn't look great. But their offense is kind of centered around second chance opportunities because Steven Adams is the best offensive rebounder in the league. They get second chance opportunities and they capitalize off of it. And then the times that they look good is just because Kevin Durant is Kevin Durant. He's been fantastic this season. Şengün is taking a leap. Like, he is definitely better than he was last year. If the season started today, if the All-Star was being announced today or tomorrow, both of these guys are going to be on there because they are cooking. Top duo, one of the top duos in the league for sure. You can't say enough about how KD and Şengün are just, taking turns. Şengün is still passing the ball well, and KD is being really efficient. He'll score 30 points on 50-60% shooting still. The guy is just, the longevity of greatness that Kevin Durant has been displaying this season has been unbelievable. And that's why the Rockets are a top 4 team in the Western Conference. Their number 1 offense has just been carrying them the whole season. And it's kind of crazy because I didn't think they was going to be this. But, hey, to start the season, they've been fantastic. Okay. That's all we have for today, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. We will be back next week to discuss more teams. Maybe we might discuss rookies. I've been thinking maybe we should discuss some rookies because I feel like this rookie class has been really good. But we'll see. I haven't made a decision yet, but thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for watching. Please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe. Podcast listeners, please leave a review, download, leave a comment, leave a 5-star rating, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.